Hey guys, it's Mishan here, singer, songwriter, and vocal coach. And today I'm going to be talking about one of the topics that's been coming up a lot, and it is, what voice type am I? One of the biggest questions that I get.
Run, run, lost boy, they say to me.
So while it seems to be one of the biggest questions on a lot of people's minds, I honestly don't think that it makes that much of a difference. So unless you're singing in choir or you're singing opera, then I don't think it makes that big of a deal. And here's why. The whole idea and reasoning for voice classification was for a time where amplification was not used. So somebody would be standing on stage and they would be singing for an audience of 200, 300 people, and their voice had to carry over the entire audience. Now, when you're singing like that, you need to be able to find your sweet spot, that spot where your voice is the most resonant, it really pings, and it gets the strongest, and you have the most volume. Everybody's voice resonates in a different frequency. Just like every glass, it doesn't ting very well because it's full of coffee. But if that was empty, you would hear a ding. And that ting, it tells you exactly what the frequency that thing is resonating at. So any hollow object, anything that has a hole in it, is something that will resonate. And it resonates at a specific frequency. And so when you hit that frequency, it starts to get bigger and bigger without actually adding much effort. Now with the voice, we can adjust the shape of our vocal tract so that it can actually resonate at different frequencies. But everybody has a fundamental area of their range where their voice just becomes bigger, louder, stronger, and that's their forte. That's where they kind of sit. If you're interested in learning more on how to sing, I created a resource that I wish would have been around when I was starting to sing. With the subscription I've created, you get access to all of the courses that I've created and more that are coming. You get access to all of my private lesson recordings that I have from other students so you can learn vicariously through them. And you get monthly one-on-one lessons with me. All of this is available for one low monthly price, and it's a very well-rounded approach to learn how to sing. Click the link down below to get access now. So in the days where you had to sing for 300 people without any sort of microphone with amplification, then yeah, it's extremely important to find that sweet spot in your voice and know exactly what type of songs you should be singing, because if you're going to be singing a tenor part but you're a baritone, you're going to end up in a spot where you're not able to project and carry over to the audience. I bet most of you didn't know that. So the other area that I mentioned that this becomes important is with choirs. So in a choir, you have different parts that are going to be singing different parts. And those parts are going to have a specific range. There's the baritone range, the soprano range, the altos, the tenors. And so they really fit people into those parts. Now, even today, they don't so much focus on what is exactly your voice classification and let's fit you right into that voice classification, because they just want to fill the spot. And so if you're able to hit the note, even if it's not quite your voice type, they'll stick you into that part. So they more fit people to the parts as opposed to parts to the people. So where does that leave us today? In today's day and age, we have amplification. Anybody that's singing for a big auditorium of 30,000 people is not going to be able to project their voice over the entire room without any amplification, even if they are right in their voice type and they have the strongest voice in the world. So what we have is amplification where the smallest whisper can be heard across a stage of 30,000 people, 100,000 people. It doesn't really matter because it's amplified. I believe that it's important today not to get too hung up on the terminologies of, am I a tenor? Am I a baritone? Oh, I'm stuck because I'm a baritone. Oh, my voice is never going to be that thick because I'm a tenor. Trying to get into all of those details is really just going to bog you down and not allow you to grow as fast as you possibly could. Rather, it's much more important to focus on the fundamentals of good technique. So making sure that you're doing everything with release so that you're not forcing or pushing your voice to be in a specific range where it doesn't feel natural. And also working to slowly extend that into that range, right? So a bass can technically sing all the notes that a tenor can sing. They can sing up high. Their vocal folds can thin out to that point to hit the same high notes as Bruno Mars. but they're going to be limited in the amount of energy that it takes to be able to sing those notes. So a bass is going to require much more effort to hit those upper high notes than a tenor would have to have. That tenor would be able to sing a whole song sitting around the A, B, B flat, C area of the voice, whereas a bass would be kind of stuck, like really, really pushing it as far as his energy and be zapped of his energy after that song, if being able to get through the song at all. So knowing what your fundamentals are and what your voice tendency is much more important than saying, am I a bass? Am I a baritone? Am I a tenor? Just figure out where your voice sits, where it feels like it's the easiest to sing and where it resonates the easiest, and really work with that. That's the most important part, and then expand out from there. Now, a tenor is not going to be able to sing as low as a bass can. So there are certain fundamental physiology components that have to do with this, right? Your vocal cords can only be so thick and long. A bass is going to have much thicker chords, just beefier chords than a tenor will have. So that comes down to anatomy, and that will influence your lower notes. But the upper notes, it doesn't affect that, right? You can really thin out even if you're a bass. So don't worry about those high notes. This is where most people feel limited. They don't feel like, hey man, I'm trying to hit those low notes. I'm not able to. I have yet to have one person come to me and say, really want to hit low notes, and I'm stuck as a tenor, not able to hit those low notes. I have not had that yet. But what I hear a lot is like, I don't think I can hit the high notes because I'm a bass, because I think I'm a baritone. That's just not true. It's simply not true. You don't have the technique. So learn the technique, focus on the proper technique, and then you're going to be able to find those upper notes easily. It's all about finding a mix, finding both registers, a little bit of chest, a little bit of head, having both those registers operating at the same time to be able to hit those notes. So I hope this helps to clarify a few things for you guys, and how today, unless you're, again, opera singer or a choir singer, you're most likely not going to have to deal with your voice type. Like really, at the end of the day, who cares if you're singing pop? All of pop today is in like the bridge range for most males. And so you just kind of like, you got to learn how to sing those upper notes, no matter who you are. And it's just about finding the right technique and staying true to that technique. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button down below. If you want to see more videos like this, check out that one. You're going to like it. Check it out.